At the end of the day, it's all about freedom.
I'll be honest, Obama's a pretty great speaker, right? He's up there with the best ever, maybe even the best ever. But man, Wall Street, in my experience, from what I've known of the way Wall Street acts, they don't usually just throw 400K at something unless, you expect to get a return. But maybe this is a payoff on a return that they already got. It does seem interesting. There's like a long history in America of these fucking con men presidents who convince you that they're the anti-banking crusader. Like the liberals, like, we're going to pass all these laws to regulate banks and we're going to blah, 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 blah. And then it turns out that they're really just kind of like in the pocket of a few select bankers and they're writing regulations in their favor. And then it turns out that after they write all these regulations, the banks consolidate and they end up getting more and more profits and they take care of these guys in the end. It's unbelievable how far being charming can go. So many people on the left just it's just like they give a pass to Obama because it's like, well, he was trying. He was in there fighting the good fight. Well, I guess he gave it his best shot. Ended up presiding over record high banker profits. And now, what can you do except tell these bankers how they should have been better to their communities and collect a nice check for $400,000. How exactly does the liberal narrative hold up that this guy's the greatest president ever he was celebrated as he left? Remember the dance that Bernie Sanders had to do in the campaign? I always thought that was so funny. Bernie Sanders would be up there. I want to play a Bernie Sanders clip in a minute because I just found this really funny. But Bernie Sanders would be up there in the debates, and he'd be trying to break down how bad things are, but also not blame Obama. Remember that? Like he'd be like, all of the new wealth that's been created has gone to the top 1% of the top 1%, and it's only them who have gotten better. And then, he'd be like, well, how has Obama done? And he's going, look, Obama's a friend of mine, and I think he's done what he can. And he's like, wait, what? Well, you just said this was the worst period ever, where everything, So Obama's out there bragging about his stimulus, bragging about his recovery, and how great he's done on the economy, with the place we were and then the place we are now. Remember how great he's done. But then Bernie Sanders is kind of breaking down accurately one of the few good points he ever made, where he's breaking down that really, when you have a recovery, which is the type of recovery that Obama had, right? So you can call it a recovery if you want, because Obama kind of, if you will, like reinflated this whole, house of cards. So, but when you have a recovery in the style that Obama's recovery was, right? So you have a recovery that's built off artificially bringing interest rates down to 0%, right? Which drastically changes the economy in lots of different ways, right? Because now it's like, say for the for savers and like people on a fixed income, this turns all of them into speculators now because you can't make any interest because it's 0%. You can't buy a CD or just put your money in a savings account. Now you have to put it in the stock market. So you force everybody into this kind of rich man's game. That's a big. So you have these artificially low interest rates, right? And then you have record high government spending. So like the money is like coming from, first off, the capital out on the in the market is skewed in one direction, and then all this capital is coming in from top down from the government. So you have this, when you have this type of recovery by just spending more and more money, printing more money and spending more money. Yeah, this is what you get. It's like a rich man's recovery. So you create a lot of new wealth, but it all goes up to the people at the top because that's where it's all coming from, and that's the people who rig the system. So like anyway, Bernie would like touch on this a little bit and go, but it's just interesting to see because I guess one of the things like we always focus on this show is like what the nature of government really is. And because there just is, like from my perspective, I always said Anatomy of the State from Rothbard. That was like my central piece where you really see what the government is. And I just think Obama cashing in like this, it cuts right to the chase. Whew, one speech, $400K. That's good, man. That's a hell of a rate.